Welcome to part 2 for a video guide to show you how to make green stuff molds. In the last part we set up the Lego and we created a mold using green stuff by pressing in our detailed part. And it's been the next day and now I'm going to, the green stuff is completely hardened and I'm going to remove all the Lego bits. So last time we applied some Vaseline, some lip balm, so that we could easily remove the Lego without much trouble. So you'll want to wash your Lego to wash that off later if you plan on reusing it or whatever. So our final piece comes right off. You can see there's a bunch of Vaseline still there. So on the other side it looks like the Lego portion has tons of Vaseline on it. So you can take that off if you wish. Just to clean it up a bit, you could run it under the tap. But what we're most interested now in is in the green stuff mold we've created. And you can see here that we have the detailed portion. The detail has now been imprinted as a negative into the mold. And so I'm going to take 2 equal halves of green stuff again and mix them together, and we're going to press it into that mold so we can duplicate this piece. So the same thing applies when you want to put your green stuff into the mold. You want it to be semi-lubricated using what's called a mold release agent. That's just so you can get it out without the green stuff sticking to itself and hardening that way. So mine still has a little leftover Vaseline from the detail when I put it in. I might add a little bit more to the surface of the green stuff before I press it in. And that'll allow us, so when it hardens we can pop it right out there without too much troubles. If you're doing a really small and detailed bit, what I sometimes do is I'll attach a wire to the bit before I imprint it, something like that, so that once it's dry I can sort of rip it out there and I've got like a handle I can hold on to. That's not always necessary, it depends on the bit you're using and how big it is in your mold. So this green stuff's pretty mixed. Just going to give it a once over here. I'm going to roll it into a ball, just so it's nice and compact and there's no gaps in it of any kind, air gaps or otherwise. So I'll get a little bit of lip chap, roll it in my fingers, just coat the outside of the green stuff where we're going to push down. So I've got about, just enough to fill the mold. So I'm just going to place it right on top, and just with my thumb I'm going to press it right into the mold. So the more pressure you apply, obviously, the better it's going to push to the detail. And if you want to create some kind of handle or some way to grip it off, then you can modify the sides that as long as it's not going to affect the detail. So now we've got the green stuff in the mold, and we can place that under a hot lamp to speed up the curing process. And in the next step we'll show you taking it out and then trimming it for the final product. Stay tuned for part 3.